Across beds, hearts and bucks. This is Nana Akua.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the Health and Wellbeing Show with me, Nana Akua. We're asking you this question: do you support the move to an opt-out system for organ donation? Get in touch now, 08081 008800. We'll be discussing it after 9 o'clock. You can text us on 81333, start your message with 3CR, or tweet us at BBC3CR. Now, the East of England London NHS Foundation is actually one of 13 NHS trusts that are going to be leading the way in a national programme to introduce electronic prescribing and administration. Now, it's receiving £740,000 for the project, which is being piloted at Mile End Hospital in Tower Hamlets, and it's going to be rolled out across all services from early in 2019. Here to tell us more is Dr. Ben Wright, who is a trust consultant, a psychiatrist. Hello, Doctor. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me with you this evening. It's great to be here.
Now, Doctor, first of all, tell us a bit about why the NHS thought it was necessary to have this type of scheme.
So, we're really excited about rolling out this system. So essentially, it allows clinicians to record their prescriptions electronically, as you'd expect. But as they go through the process, all the things that we currently do on paper, so cross-checking the current medications against the big, fat, thick reference manuals that we have for drug interactions, checking for side effects, that can now all be done automatically. And unlike us poor doctors with our terrible handwriting and our overworked hours, computers don't get tired and they don't get mistakes. So there's a fantastic opportunity for some consistency for every single time we prescribe something to have it cross-checked absolutely rigorously 100% of the time. And that's really great.
Do you know, when you say all that, and I listen, I think, yeah, that does sound great. But I can remember a little while ago when I was in A&E, being in there and the lady was checking something on her mobile phone about some drug interactions or whatever it was she was doing. But she was Googling it. One of the nurses was actually Googling something and everything. And it sometimes, it kind of half worries me that a lot of the some of that understanding may sort of go, and everyone will rely too much on this whole digital thing. So I'm just wondering, it was actually more worrying to me, and I think possibly easy to make really complex mistakes with a system like that. Or do you think that actually it simplifies things?
Well, I think the thing is that on the whole, when we're prescribing a drug, we're very familiar with it. We're very confident about the effects. But sometimes you'll have a drug that has very complex interactions. And the thing is that the knowledge about that may change. Yeah. So I may go into work after Christmas. There'll be a new set of information which will be held in the central kind of repositories, as it were. And I may not have seen that update. And then I go ahead and I do what I normally do, because this new piece of knowledge that changes every few weeks, hasn't got through to me yet because I haven't taken done my Wednesday afternoon studies. And then I've made an error. And for me, it's going to be really reassuring that actually a warning will pop up and say, this interaction is going to happen with this medication or this side effect or this particular thing will be there, just a bit like a pilot in a cockpit, really. And more importantly, for me, it'll allow me to focus on what I really love doing, which is talking to people about their lives and about their issues, and responding in much greater detail about the issues and the concerns they have about using a medication and making sure that it's right for them.
Yeah, I suppose when someone sort of picks up a computer and sort of starts searching things, you think, you kind of want them to already know it. But I suppose, as you said, if there's an update or more information, then having something that is changing is probably better than having something just in your head that you know. I guess I hear you there. So the benefits of this system mean that it's kind of malleable, isn't it? It's evolving. It's constantly evolving. What was the main problem with the current process? I'm sure that's probably part of it.
Well, I think that's the prescribing bit. That's the bit everybody sees. But actually, there's a whole sequence of really important stuff that happens after that. And of course, the most important thing is being given the medication. For people who are staying with us as an inpatient, that medication is sourced dispensed from the pharmacy. It's then carried through into the ward and actually administered to the person on the ward. And that, of course, is a whole chain of potential errors there. if it's carried out by humans. But now with a digital system, we can link the prescribing system to our pharmacy robot, and it's going to create what we hope will be a closed loop system that will eliminate as far as possible many of the administration errors that occur. So I think that's the second real benefit, which is going to make administration much safer, much more reliable, and link it directly to our pharmacy robot, which will make sure the right drug is pulled off the shelf and put into the relevant drawer, so that things are much safer from that perspective. And there's also a third benefit as well, which I'll come on to.
Well, that's good, because I remember I had my digital prescription at one point, and the back end sort of hadn't caught up with the front end. But hopefully now, with the joined up thinking that you're describing, it will all work quite effectively. So will we expect to see this running across more hospitals?
So yes, we were going to go ahead with this anyway, but NHS Digital have given us some money to accelerate the rollout, which is very exciting for us. So unfortunately, we didn't have enough money to do it as quickly as we would have liked, and it was going to take us 2 years. But this extra money is going to allow us to increase the speed of the rollout over 1 year, which is going to be great, because we know having 1 foot on the bank and 1 foot on the boat is never a great place to be for an organisation. So we're going to try and roll it out as quickly as possible, firstly across our East London services and then up into Luton and Bedfordshire. So that's going to be great. And hopefully we'll iron out any issues or bugs that are there and share all that learning with the rest of the NHS so that they can go even quicker.
Yeah, anything that speeds things up and makes the process a lot more efficient is definitely most welcome. You mentioned a third benefit. Yes,
so yes,
we've got about 30 seconds, so if you could,
right.
We'd love to hear
safety, cross-checking, and it's really going to allow us to get rid of paper forms that check the quality and check the safety, and actually have an automated system that will flag up quality control, because we're passionate about high quality care. And this will allow us to be doing all those thorough checks with a minimum amount of staff time. Again, freeing up pharmacists to spend time talking to patients, and freeing up us doctors when we're doing our audits, and the nurses when they're doing their audits. Rather than doing that, we'll be able to, again, focus back in on clinical care. So another great big benefit as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was Dr. Ben Wright. He's a trust consultant psychiatrist, talking about this wonderful idea of digitalising the whole prescriptive process in medicine.